Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I have the lovely Lauren here
Hi.
to talk to you guys about what is going on in the villa, give you an opportunity to get to know her better, and for us to just have some fun and talk things Love Island, as well as we can get
Exactly.
some tips for her because she definitely came through the villa and was a notable person. She definitely turned heads. So we're going to learn a little technique and a little tip here and there. So to start,
Good intro.
yes, you like the intro, right?
Yes, I do. I like it.
To start, how would you describe your time in the villa?
I think my time was cut short, but while I was there, I feel like I made like a pretty good and big impact. I had a lot of fun. I was true to myself. Met like some cool people, and it was like a lot and super exhausting. But at the same time, it was good. It was a good experience. I had fun.
Yeah, and with the exhausting, can you talk a little bit about that, especially even in times of like emotionally, but also physically, like with sleep and stuff like that.
Yeah. I was like notified the night before that I was going to be going into the villa, so I had to like pack all of my things and like move really quickly. I think it was at like 10 p.m. Yeah, 10 p.m. And then so I was like, getting everything ready and like packing to go into the villa, and then didn't sleep. And then had to be in there before everybody woke up so that it was like their first reaction to me. And so then that was exhausting. And
Right.
then sleeping next to Trey was exhausting because I couldn't sleep either because of the whole snoring situation. And then they like blast the huge like lights on in the morning, so it's like not like a very calming way to wake up, especially like from what I'm used to. And then just being around people all the time and all day, like I think I like usually spend a lot of time by myself, and you're like on all the time, like, and doing these challenges and running around and eating at certain times and being told to sleep or wake up. It's just like, exhausting. And then after a while it kind of gets to you and you're like, oh my God, to like keep the energy up, to have all these conversations like that you wouldn't be doing. And then, realizing like, holy shit, like this is on TV, and you're mentally exhausted, you're physically exhausted. It's like 110 degrees in Vegas. Your skin is like getting so tired. So it's just tiring, but also like really fun at the same time, so that keeps you going. And we also like drank like so much Red Bull. I was like on Red Bull and coffee all day.
Yeah, and then the thing too, I think a lot of people don't know. So for those watching, one thing too, I don't know if they like let people know, is in the villa you always see us with phones. You have the phones, and only thing you can do is take pictures and receive text. You can't tell time. They flip the time in the house, so everyone has different times on the phone, on the stoves, on the microwave. So you never have a sense of time, and you go to sleep when they tell you, and you wake up when they tell you. So
and it's a different time, so you can't even try and clock it. I was trying to clock it by the Bellagio fountains because you could hear them. So I was like, an hour has gone by, but like, I was like, what fucking hour? Like, are we up at 5? Like, did this date end at 2 or 10 or when did we start? And yeah, every phone I just would toss my phone, and they'd be like, we need you to have your phone. Like when I had to read off like my first thing, I had to use Carrington's phone and pretend that it was fine, because I was like, I just can't, like, and we were quarantined because of COVID, so I didn't have a phone or access to anything before that. So like my time was so off, which is crazy. But yeah, like I think that like you were saying, the timing and like having all of the phones and different things say different times, like I wonder if that like psychologically does something that messes with you.
I think potentially it could play. I ain't saying this for real because I don't know for sure, but maybe sleep exhaustion in a way, because if they send us to bed potentially at like 3-4 a.m. and then they make sure that like by the time we're up it's sunny outside. So if it's sunny at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., you're really every night you could potentially be getting only 3 to 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, they're torturing us.
Oh. But it also messes your psychological, so you're probably more emotional. You're probably more reactive.
So much more.
Potentially, I don't know for sure. Maybe that's a conspiracy y'all could look into, especially those people on Reddit. But
yeah.
overall,
I mean, that makes sense. Just drive everybody as crazy as possible, and you're gonna get some good reactions.
yeah,
and like
people feel
sleep
more
deprivation
love
is a form of torture.
in a way. I mean, I don't put it's reality TV at the end of the day. I don't put it beside it. But would you say overall, do you think you had a fair chance of finding love in the villa, like with what you were presented with?
I think I had a fair chance from like the beginning and how it started out, and then like the guys were just moving too slow with like their plans on what they were gonna do, and then we thought the two new guys were coming in on the at the Neon Carnival. So me and Kirsten were like, two new guys, and they just didn't. That didn't happen, and everybody was like, we think two new guys are coming in, and then it was a voting. So I didn't think that that was going to happen at that pace, and then I thought, you literally it was as I think that it was showed that like Carrington pulled me and was like, okay, like he was gonna finally like grow the balls to like say like let's do something with this.
Right.
And then Ariel walks in. So
wow.
And I was like, there's no way. And I really kind of was like, I there's no way I'm gonna go home, like, because they voted on most compatible couple, and then Kirsten and Carrington had just ended, and everyone knew that. So I was like, how are they more compatible when you know that they've just ended it? Like they had their chance to try it, and that's like, what's compatible about that? So yeah, I forgot what your question was.
Oh, like, do you think you had a fair chance of love?
Oh yeah, so I think I had a fair chance, but that it was cut short, and there was no way to know how, what was going to happen with that, and like that it was going to go that fast, or when they sent Ariel in, or who knows. But yeah, so like kind of a fair chance, but then also not, because of the way that it was set up, and that I don't think, the only thing is I think I didn't have enough time to do things the way I wanted to, like organically.
Right. Now, and with that, why do you think you weren't chosen to stay? Like when it was down to the guys being able to choose, because they had their last couples, but
Yeah, I don't know. And then I thought because the guys were voting that I was like, okay, like I think I'll be good, because I was so cool with everybody.
Right.
But I think Connor, and that's like why I went off on everybody in the dressing room, because I walked in and I was like, what the fuck? Like, you guys all this whole time, like, we have your back, like, you're gonna, and Trey literally would say to me, like, you have nothing to worry about, like, you're gonna be here for a long time. Like, that's just what everyone kept saying, and it didn't work out that way. But I know that Johnny was like, she hasn't had enough time in here. Like, Connor, like, I think that it was like a one person, one guy, like,
right,
I didn't even vote, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That pushed it over the edge. So I think some people did choose me, and then some people obviously didn't, and then that was their final decision. I don't know exactly, but yeah, but I don't know why they voted in that way. Like, that doesn't actually make sense to me, because Kirsten and Carrington, or everybody knew that they weren't compatible, and that he was like not into her. Like, it was, everybody knew that. Right. So I don't know. You're gonna have to ask them that when they come out, because I would like to also know the answer.
Okay. No, I probably will have to. Hopefully I get the opportunity to interview everybody when they're
out.
out.
Let me know.
Right. So we'll find out. It's to be continued.
Yeah, exactly.
So I do want to get into some conspiracy theories that was floating around a little bit.
Okay.
Were you an actress or a plant sent into the villa to ruffle everybody's feathers?
No. How would that even work?
I don't know. You did the job pretty well. Like, everybody's head turned. So everyone was like, she's got to be an actress. There was a theory going around like she's an actress.
That's so funny.
Are you?
No. No. I literally, no, that was all me. That's just actually how I am.
Walk into rooms like that, like, bow. Here I am.
I guess so.
With shades.
Yeah, I mean, no, definitely it is not scripted or acted at all. Like, it's obviously staged. Like, I was, wouldn't just be being such a diva, like lying out there like that. But it's yeah, no, it's that kind of is how I move.
And funny thing enough too, we probably would have met if you would have came last year. I was
Exactly.
supposed to meet her guys last year on season.
So, I'm so sad that I didn't get to meet you, but I'm also think that this season was much more like me
Yeah,
than
you definitely would have. Yeah, I think the way you came out and the attitude and the energy it brought, it was received better in this season, I think,
Mhm.
than it would have in season one. Because
Yeah, it wouldn't have
a lot
fit.
slower, as well as like it was more of a bro island than anything else. So I feel like the
Yeah.
shake up wouldn't have hit the same.
Yeah, it would have been different. And that's the thing too, like to go back to like, oh, you know, we're an actress or this or that. Like, no,
Yeah.
like production caters to the people they have.
Right.
So, you know, they had met me, they'd met all the different people, and they were like, okay, like, you know, she needs to go in by herself. And like they had set it up depending on, you know, how they meet you and kind of see how you are. So I think they'd met me and known, you know, that I was going to be confident or carry myself a certain type of way. And I think they, you know, they knew the boys and what reactions they were going to get. So kind of they set up certain things so that it, you know, so that's what
Yeah.
happened, and the timing of when I went in and all of that. Like they do that, you know, depending on your character and who you are, and they see what happens with it, you know.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
another thing to debunk, are you actually from England? People are like, she's taking an accent, and what's going on with that?
Yes, it's so annoying because I have the same thing happen like when I'm out too. People be like, "Are you from England?" or like, "You're not." Like, yes, I'm from England. It's my sisters were getting so defensive of me and posted my British passport to the Reddit page.
Wow.
Yeah, but I have dual citizenship. I was born in England, lived there up until middle school, and then was in Florida and then moved to California. So I've been, you know, here for like half my life. So the accent like is like this weird crossbreed of like, you know, Oxford, England and like a Valley girl. So there's nothing I can do about it. Like it comes in like my A's and my R's are always very British, but like the flow of my voice is very LA. And I'm like, everyone just keeps going on about the fucking accent. I'm like, it is what it is, guys. Leave me alone with this accent. I know I sound crazy.
Now, we're also gonna go into some jokes. So people are making the eyeliner jokes.
Oh my god, I know. The memes I loved. I thought they were so funny. And yeah, we just watched the first episode today. So I had only seen, you know, bits from Instagram and I was like, why the fuck did you do this to yourself? But no,
Did you like the eyeliner?
no, it's terrible.
Okay, because I was like, girl, I ain't like it either.
Nobody liked it. Nobody liked it. No, and then seeing it back, I was like, in the promo, it wasn't that bad. So I think I'd done it, and then, oh, that was a different day, and then done it again, and it just was so bad. And now watching the actual episode, I was like, why did you do this to yourself? But
it was the confidence, though. It covered it because the dudes didn't even
barely.
because of the confidence. When guys like, I like that confidence. You don't even notice shit like that.
The guys didn't notice the eyeliner in there, but like I definitely
makeup
did.
period. To be honest,
Huh?
I said guys don't even notice makeup period. To be honest, you could have two different type of eyeshadow designs on. They'll be like,
I
oh,
mean, I kind of did. And like also like you applying and reapplying, and I never wear like that much makeup usually, like except unless I'm gonna go out. And so your skin like is just like hurting, and you know if you're like burning, and then your eyes are like watering from the wind. So it's like you just, you know, you're up against all of these things. And yeah, but I was like, I really played myself because all of my friends were like, we watched you sit and practice that eyeliner for weeks. And I was like, I'm going to nail it. And like, I just set myself up. And then like seeing it, I was like, oh my God, it really just is getting like longer and longer.
No, like you're literally, before I went into the villa, I had to practice. Before I even knew I got in, I was like, oh, I'm going to get this. So I was literally having to practice how to do eyelashes because I didn't know how to put false.
Yes, I don't do any of that. Like all the girls had full eyelashes and like, you know, the hair extensions and stuff, and like I didn't do any of that stuff. But yeah, no, I did the same thing. I was like, I never wear this much makeup, so I have to practice putting it on and taking it off so my skin doesn't trip. And yeah, I honestly, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm just gonna have to take the L on that. It's really bad.
It's cool. Like, I've had situations, even for my videos, which I kind of don't want to say this because I don't want nobody to look back. But I mean, if you have memes, I'll put myself out there. I've had situations in which, if you might notice in a video, some of my YouTube videos, I'll make a mistake and put the lash a little bit too high on my lid. So, like, there's legit a gap in between my actual and the lashes.
Oh, I can't. I was like, I'm not going to attempt the lashes. Like, I'm so clumsy, and I can't, like, do any of that. Like, and I just getting it on from one side to the other, like, it's not.
It becomes a lot. It's a skill.
Yes! And then I was like, ugh, like, why didn't you just do less? Like, I don't know. I really don't know. They set that up.
Now, another question I have is, do you think that the men in the game, or even the women, are they playing strategies, or are they truly building real connections, you think, that will, like, take it outside of the villa?
I think, you know, there's a lot of, like, game players in there. And I think, like, you know, maybe people were going in with, like, the, you know, intention to kind of play a game or some kind of strategy, and then you do end up also building connections while you're doing it. And like, I had, like, my conversations with a couple of the guys in there, where they were honest after and said, you know what, I kind of was playing it safe and did, you know, was doing a strategy and jumped, but, you know, then they saw Mackenzie and Connor and were like, we don't want to do that and just stick with the same person. And I think I kind of inspired everybody to speak their truth a little bit more and to be more bold and to take chances and not play it so safe. But then I think, so it was like all, you know, moving faster, and like people were being honest with themselves for the first time. And then I think then I went home so quickly that then people jumped back to playing it safe. You know? So I don't know. I think, you know, genuine connections are definitely being made. Like, you're together all day long, you know, like one day in the villa is like 10 days on the outside because you're spending so much time and you really bond with these people. So that's why it seems like it's all moving so fast. You're like, you know, you've only known this person for this many days, but you feel so close to them. So I think definitely, now I don't know because I only know from like when I was in there and the clips I've seen. But like everybody's flipping in Casa Amor. So I was like, like I told you, none of these people were solid.
You were like, where was this energy when I was there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now everybody's like well, you know what it is they're too scared. You know, that took away the pressure of the girls being there
around to watch you act like you're gonna act.
To be crying every time I pull someone for a conversation that I am told to do. So yeah, then, you know, you remove the eyes, and then boys do what they do, which is cheat. Yeah, and they all did. So, well, not everybody, right?
No, there's some solid dudes in there.
Yeah,
Caleb was a pretty sturdy dude.
Yeah, he stayed true, but I feel like he just knew he was not going to mess that up. Like, you know, he was like, I don't know if that's playing it safe or if he really does. You know, because it's kind of hard to read him.
I think even Justine herself said that though, and a lot of people say that about him. He's super like reserved, so he's a hard person to read. And even watching the show, you notice like he actually doesn't say much, and when he speaks, it has nothing to do with him for the most part. It's like it's either he's giving somebody advice or he's speaking on something. So like no one ever
he is a little bit, he's definitely more reserved. Like I felt that like on one that they didn't show it, but like our first time when I had, you know, to get to know everybody and we were talking and I was like, he's given me nothing. Like
he doesn't like much.
No, he really wasn't. He was not into it at all. But yeah, you just can't tell, but he's very smart. He's a really smart and like kind of like introspective person. So he was cool. And like Justine too was so funny, but one of the days we were just like losing it a little bit and like running around the villa, and she was like, you know, I've already asked him about his family. I'm like, what do I ask? Like, I don't know. Like, he doesn't come and talk to me. Like, we barely speak. We speak here and there. And Kirsten was saying the same thing about Carrington. And I was like, guys, these boys don't like you. And they were like, oh my God, they don't. But we were just playing with it. And then we're like, listen, look, everybody's so dressed up. Like, walk past. Like, no, they were all doing like Bro Island. And nobody was paying anyone any mind. And we were just like, what is going on here? All they want to do is hang out with each other.
Like, bro, and I would say season 1, it kind of felt like that too. Like, we'll be like waiting around, like,
hello, don't you see that I just put on the shitty eyeliner for you? Pay attention to me.
Because it's interesting that you say that, because I will say, from watching production, it looks like season 2, the guys are very interactive with the girls. Because season 1, like, they weren't that interactive with us. Like, obviously we'll joke around together, but when it came down to like, okay, like, you do want your time where that person comes and pulls you over, like, they're too busy hanging out with their friends. And I think only like one guy I could really think of who was more consistently like taking his time out to go speak to his person. So
oh shit, what did I just do?
Oh no, I'm right here.
I'm back. Yeah, they definitely, I mean, the guys had like a great bond and they would spend all day, you know, playing and stuff, but I guess they did, you know, they did make time and were hanging with the girls and stuff, I guess, compared to your guys' season, but they definitely, you know, like, there's a lot of time where I was like, why is everybody like not hanging out together, or like all the girls would be very separate. So I mean, I don't know, I guess also you don't, some people like to be in relationships where they're with the person like constantly all the time, and then some people like need their space.
Right.
So everyone's different.
Yeah, unless you wanted to go over there and pump some iron. And I know
exactly. I think I worked out like one of the days, but it was so awkward. I was like, I can't work out here, like everybody like just staring.
And they're doing some real heavy lifting. Like, look at my little arms. I promise you, I'll do some dumb stuff like go over there and they'll literally watch my little arms break, and I'll just be like,
yeah, it's too much pressure. I feel like that's their little area.
Yeah, because you're just like, y'all over there lifting women. Yeah, like they're just doing 3 much, body all stacked, and I'm just here.
I know, lifting up the girls and stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking like my one body size, they probably could lift with one hand. Literally.
They were strong. Like, they were some, like, they all were, like, had been going hard at the gym before they got in that villa.
I loved it. Every minute of it. I just drank my juice. It was just like,
yeah, because it's a lot of your types in there. That's
a lot of my types are in there. I was like, no, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, you're like, I'll take a little bit of each of that.
A couple scoops of that.
Exactly. You build a man.
What'd you call it? Now, are there moments in the house that you wish were shown? Being that, like, at one point we even see, even when you leaving, and you could speak on that, you can speak on something else, but like, even you leaving and like you started to be like, y'all need to be real with yourselves, and then we're like, okay, so there's more to this, and then cut it. And they don't show us anything else. So, like, can you fill in the gaps with that? Or is there any other moment as well that happened?
Yeah, definitely, you know, there was a lot more too. Like, and the conversation was a lot longer when I left and called everybody out. Yeah, because I kind of just felt like, you know, the guys were like, you're the only person who, like, I would go in and hang in the guys' dressing room while we were all getting ready. And there's so many, like, hours of time where we're, like, playing games, or like, you know, Caleb is teaching me to like choke Johnny out, or like we're just like vibing, you know, just being like stupid and making fun of each other and like measuring people's heads with belts to see if Caleb or Johnny had a bigger head, like just dumb shit that you know, there's a lot of stuff like that they don't show that I think would be funny and interesting to watch, just to see more, you know, of these friend relationships with the boys too. And then also they didn't show, because they wanted to paint me out to be some type of way, and so they didn't show that I had a great friendship with Justine, and like us, we'd always, you know, like even me putting my eyeliner on and then her being like, yes, the eyeliner's a no for me, like, and I would like take it off.
I wish they would have showed that to really show like the friend bond, because your friends don't let you go out like that, right? Yeah.
And she would, like, every time, like, if Mackenzie would do a braid, she'd be like, should I do a braid? Like, or if you wore a sparkly dress, she'd be like, should I wear a sparkly dress? Like, she, you know, like, little moments. And, like, me and Kirsten were so close at the end that she was, like, literally sobbing when I left. And she was like, I don't want to be here. they cut our whole conversation by the pool of me telling her, like, if it's gonna upset you if I couple with Carrington, I won't. Like, I value you over him. They cut that because, you know, they're playing the narrative. Yeah, there was like, and at the Neon Carnival, we were like, we're coupling up together. Like, we only danced with each other the whole night. And then when we realized we were like up against each other for the elimination, and we were just like, oh no, like we were just building such a close like friendship. You know, she's so awesome.
And that makes sense now that you say it, because we're watching it. I'm like, what's going on? Like, since when y'all holding hands? I was like, I would have been there like,
right.
But now that you're saying this, it's like,
yeah, wow. I didn't think about that. It probably doesn't make sense, but no, we'd spent all day together, and you know, and I was like, if you know, and she was like, no, you know, go for it and pursue him and just see. And I told her, you know, I kind of think that if I go and do what you did, we're gonna have a similar outcome, and I think he's gonna be with me how he was with you. And then she was like, but just, you know, try it out. And I was like, but you know, let me know if you're feeling some type of way. And you know, that never ended up happening. But yeah, they didn't show that. I think they wanted to isolate me a little bit from the girls, and they would do that in different ways to make it look like I was not close with them. But I definitely wasn't. And the boys would be like, hey, we just want you to know, like, multiple times, that like we really have your back in here. Like, we see that you're alone a lot of the time, and you know, we want you to know that like we're here if the girls are being off with you. And I was like, you know, I'm put in a tough situation where I have to go after somebody's guy. It's gonna make people a little bit like weird with you, or like feel strange, but like, what can you do? So there definitely was like a little bit of a divide, but it was fine.
And even in like the relationships with the guy, did they show those like accurate? Were they depicted accurately? Like, we saw that they showed the situation between you and Connor. They showed the situation between you and Johnny. We saw that it went more with Selly.
Yeah.
We Carrington. So they didn't even let us really know that you were even thinking in that manner of like, hey, I see how he dealt with you. I don't know if that's something I want to kind of.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't show
And then Trey, they showed like it seemed to be not as much of an interest in that way, since you guys were like more friends.
Yeah, we were like, we're doing a friend couple. He was like, you're gonna be fine. We need to give Carrington more time, like, and then he's gonna couple up with you, and the next time, and I guess he was gonna go for Kirsten or something. They were gonna switch, but yeah, and then like they didn't show conversations of me and Trey talking through things and like being really real and honest with each other and being like, okay, this is how I'm feeling about this and that, and we were really cool with each other.
Right.
So obviously, you know, it's like a 24-hour turnaround, and there's only so much footage that they can use, but like there's so much that like people just have no idea about and that goes on, and all the relationships and friendships that, because I don't think they wanted to make it look like I was also like having these good friendships with the guys, because they wanted me to be like, you know, bombshell role,
yeah,
and, like, just that, but it wasn't. And like I ended up being like, they really, now that I've seen the first episode, they really were pushing like the Connor storyline. And I was like not into it at all, and because after talking to him, I was like, oh my god, like I kind of felt like I'd become his therapist more than like it being a dating situation. And even the letter that he read to Mackenzie that he had written on his phone, like I practiced that with him for like 2 hours, and I was like helping him through it, and everybody's like, oh, like they hate me because they think I'm trying to take Connor from Mackenzie. And I was like, no, like that was not it, but that was what it was made to look like. Even from the beginning, how all the guys were like, Mackenzie should be the most worried. I was like, why? Like I've given no, right. I just walked in here. Like nobody knows what I'm thinking.
Right. Now, do you believe the people in the house are being accurately depicted? Like, you got some people who are put off as players. You have some people like as the F-boys, as the stand-up guy, like all these characters do. Yeah. In the house are being accurately depicted.
I think
beyond this is the moment.
Yeah. I think they kind of are being depicted pretty like accurately. You know, like Mackenzie was a little more dramatic and emotional, and she was like a lot in the show, and that's how she comes across. But then they cut out a lot of her when she was being really rational and being like, am I crazy here? Because this guy is like telling everybody one thing and then telling me another, which is true. And then like at a certain point, you're just like, what am I missing here? And so they don't show her when she's like being rational. I don't know. I feel like everybody's comes across pretty close to how they are. But it's weird watching it and being like, oh my God, you didn't know that like when I was in there, that like when you walked past, people are saying this, or what people say in Beach Hut about you, that you're like, oh, that's so interesting. That's where they were at that point.
Right.
Because you could play the game a lot differently if you knew where people's heads were at. But I guess that's the point. You can't read people's minds.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, do you see yourself having lasting relationships with the people in the cast, like friendships and things of that nature?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think even for like such a short amount of time, like I was saying, you spend so much time with these people and you're put in such a weird situation, like with no distractions, that like I really like, you know, with Kirsten definitely, and you know, Justine, Johnny, I was really close with. Like who else was in there? Definitely like some certain people, like maybe Carrington. I don't know if we'd like be cool on the outside. Yeah, and you know, Sally was awesome, and I think you definitely, yeah, there a lot of them, like everybody was great. So I think there'll be some lasting relationships, and it's going to be interesting. Like you've had the opportunity to see how those relationships change and which ones grow and which ones stick when people aren't on camera.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting. And when you're not going after their man, then probably a lot, you know, that
friendlier.
A lot friendlier. Yeah, exactly.
That's fact. But overall, you'd say like in your experience in the house though, like the women in the house were like accepting of you. You weren't like ostracized or anything like that?
A little bit. I think just because of the situation that I was put in kind of did separate me a little bit, and everybody was guarded. So that was hard, but I think that everybody did their best to try and like make me feel included. Like they went through the motions. Whether I felt that was genuine or not is a different story, but everybody said and did the right things. And the guys would always be like, listen, we see that like the girls are a little bit like this with you and we want you to feel comfortable. So I think everybody, you know, they did well with, you know, the weird situation that we're in.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, which relationships do you think can actually, from your experience being around them, can actually make it outside of this villa? As of now, I'm not sure if you're completely caught up to date or so.
I'm not up to date.
But like online and stuff.
I honestly I'm just gonna say none of them. Yeah, no, I don't think anyone's gonna last outside of the villa, like not past 6 months, if that.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna give you a time frame.
Yeah, definitely not.
This is a stretch.
You know what? I'm gonna say no one, because I was like, dude, they're gonna come out like the people like DMs are popping off.
Yep.
We saw how these boys were acting in Casa Mall when that, and still on camera. Like, no. Like, let's be real. Do you think anybody was gonna last? No. The pause.
I gotta think about it. Like, honestly, maybe.
You gotta think these people are living in different states.
That's true. Okay, I'm not sure.
That doesn't last anyway. Like,
yeah, it is a hard thing to do.
I mean, who's to say? People,
right. Somebody might pop up the show and get married, because that did happen.
Yeah, in England, a bunch of people have kids, and like I think 3 or 4 or 5 maybe like got married or are still together. Like that does work, but it's a little bit different in America.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, you can watch our season and see we don't know what you're doing sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, the responses. Yeah, no, it is definitely different. And I think in England, people settle down a lot earlier. Yeah, and they value like that more, where here they value like to put work and stuff first. A little bit.
Right.
Yeah, it's changing, but
now, so now that you're home and you see the guys like in third person, are you happy that you didn't couple up with any of the guys formally, like for real?
I think like now seeing back the dates, like I think like, you know, I had like a perception of Johnny before going in there that he was a game player, and then like seeing how we were on our date that I just watched today, that I was like, oh, like there was a little something there that I could have pursued if I hadn't told him like you should stick with Sally and pursue that.
You told him to stick with Sally.
Yeah.
Wow. And they would never show that.
No, of course they would never show it. They didn't show me literally helping every single person. They just showed me being like a bitch. But no, we kind of like sat down, and he was, you know, after he said like the whole I'm very sexually attracted to you thing, and he was like, but you know, I have a good thing going, and I was like, you do have a good thing going, like you should stick with that. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna stick with it, but like I'm still open, you know. And I just left that alone because she seemed happy, you know. And then who else? I don't know. I was like, after talking to Connor, and then the next day after our date, he said all of that stuff and then just completely ignored me. I kind of wrote it off. I was like, this guy is just not know what he wants. Like, this is a no. And then with Carrington, I think he just moved too slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, were you coming out the villa and also just seeing everything and everyone and looking on the internet and stuff, like, were you shocked to learn things about the guys and the women through social media and stuff like that? Or like you're able to see their personalities through their Instagrams, which you're never able to see, and like, like had you by surprise?
It's strange because nowadays, like you know so much about someone before you're going to go on a date with them or whatever it may be, because you're like, okay, I've seen their socials, this is how they move, this is who they hang out with, this is like their aesthetic, and it gives you a lot of clues that you don't have when you're just only seeing somebody. It's crazy. It's you know, you're really seeing them for who they are, not who they project themselves to be. And you know, I heard like the Johnny fiance thing, and I kind of like had heard that before somehow going in, and I think that put me off too. So I was like, oh, this guy is like, people are not going to like him, or he's not trustworthy. And then that girl was just doing that for clout, which is so whack. So like, yeah, but other than that, I had no preconceived things of anybody, and there's nothing I've really seen that I was like, oh, that changes my view on them too much from their social media. No, not really.
Okay. And then bringing it to, should I ask this? Yeah, I'm gonna ask this and then we're gonna go to another. So
okay.
Season 1, you've seen us.
Yes.
Which guy from Love Island Season 1, or guys, do you think you'd be like, yo, I'd couple up with them?
Well, when I was going in, I was saying Yemen, yeah, but then seeing how that whole thing, I wouldn't have gone about it the way that Kirsten did. Kirsten? But that's who I thought that I was gonna pick. But I think that they were right to not put me in the season, because I don't think that you know, I wouldn't have vibed really with anybody in particular. I think they kind of felt like a little bit young and stuff. I mean, the boys were young in this one. They seemed a little more mature.
Okay, I could see it. And also, they looked more mature in a sense. Even their look,
right?
Older.
Yeah.
I'm 22. And then when they were naming their ages and they're like 22, I was like,
they kind of had it together for 22.
Don't look like y'all.
Yeah, my 22 would have been a mess. I wouldn't have even been able to do the like show.
Right. I'm like, I feel like I look like a high schooler. And I'm just not like, and I'm 22. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy. That really is. They
really look grown, beards.
You forget too when you're in there, like you know, you don't remember what anyone's like ages are. But I was like, oh, they're babies. Like that makes a lot of sense. But they're doing good for 22.
Right. Now, what are 3 things we wouldn't guess about you? And you already told us you were born dead, so we don't want to hear that.
They made me look so weird on that one.
They did.
3 things you wouldn't know about me. I have like the second like rarest blood type in the world. It's also weird with like born dead thing. Yeah, it's like I can't be cloned, and like I can donate as a universal like blood donor to everybody, but like only if you have my specific blood can you donate to me.
Wait, what's your blood type?
like it's, you know how you're like
Oh,
A, B,
positive.
whatever, and you're also Rh negative or positive, and I'm Rh negative. So like most people like don't know if they're one or the other. I think it's, I don't know if it's like 10% of the world or something like that. It comes from like a weird region in like France and Spain. Yeah, from like the Basque people. I don't know, but
Oh,
that's
okay.
good. Yeah, I have it like tattooed on me somewhere.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. What would people, do people know that I have these hand tats?
Hey.
Yeah, I was like, I can't really think of what else do people not know about me? I don't know. I can't
Something
think
really
of.
fun about you. Far from the whole Miss Diva thing that they tried to like put. What's some like cool down to earth thing about you?
I don't know. I think just like that I can like kick it, and like it's not all that like the glamour and the this and that. Like I can be that way too, but you know, I'm just a normal person, and seeing from like so much of like the comments and the hate that I'm getting just because of the way that like I was chose to be portrayed, which is like 2% of my personality. I think that it's just like eye-opening and crazy that like, you know, like we're multifaceted people. We're not characters. We're not caricatures of ourselves, but it might, you know, come across that way. But yeah, I'm really not just this like man-stealing diva.
And I hope that like through this interview, people can get an opportunity to like get to know you better. Hence why I ask the questions I ask. So like we could dig in
Yeah.
more and show like, hey, what you've seen might not be what you think you saw.
Yeah, no, not
You
at all.
can't
Like
believe your
it's,
eyes on reality TV. Some cases you might want to. Like
yeah,
you
exactly.
might want to believe that. That
Some
happens.
of it you can believe, but a lot of it, you know, it's staged. It's like
Right.
little bits and pieces of different things. So, um, yeah.
No, I feel you. Now you like we said you were known for the confidence. You were Miss Seductress. Like, give us 3 tips to get the guy that we want. Your 3 essential tips. If you were like, I have a little sister.
Okay.
You have a little sister?
Yes, I do.
Yes. If you give a little
I don't know
sister.
if my advice is good advice. Honestly, this might be terrible, and don't take it.
Okay.
But it always works. Like on the outside, like obviously you have to be confident. You have to like believe in yourself, and like you know, I don't know. It's like you have to just like for your sex appeal and everything like that to like come across like you know you have to believe it yourself and like have confidence, like know your strong points, like lead with that. Like if you are funny, be funny. If you're not funny, don't try. Like also like if you meet someone and like have an amazing date with them, right after just ghost.
Okay.
And then the guy will be like, what the fuck, like where did this girl go, and then start to like get on his head and insecure, and then you just like pop out of nowhere again and then be like fun and confident, and then they're like, wait, what, I can't lose this person again, and they pursue you faster.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's a bad tip, but it does work.
What'd you call it? All right. And then with that, do you have one more tip, or are those the 2?
I think you just, there's nothing more attractive than being completely yourself. And I think you see that in each of the different people like on the show, when people are in their true like moments, when you just really, when you can find, it takes a long time, like to own who you are and be like, this is me, like the good, the bad, and the ugly, but like I'm confident in who I am. I think that's attractive to people, even if people are weird or quirky or whatever it may be. I think that that's the most attractive thing, when someone is like inherently being true to themselves and being themselves, like for whatever that may be.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm literally working out outside and being so loud. Can you hear it? I don't want it to like have a weird audio.
no, you're good. Literally, you're more
Okay.
so the voice that we hear.
Okay.
So now we're gonna play a quick game. Let me pull up of this or that. All right.
Yeah.
So ready?
Oh.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Yeah. Netflix
Yeah.
or YouTube?
YouTube, because I've watched everything on Netflix.
Have you seen Oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
the old. Oh my gosh, it's called The Old Something. It's the one with the.
Is it like what's the genre?
It's like action. The people live forever.
No, I don't think I've
You
seen it.
need to check it. The old. I don't know, but I'm gonna when I find it.
Yeah, send it to me.
When I'm telling you this movie, I never give out movie recommendations.
Okay.
I not tell people to go watch that.
Okay. All right. I got you. I'll watch it.
I'm mad I can't even think of the name right now. Phone calls or text?
Texts. Do not call me.
Toast or eggs?
Eggs. I don't really eat bread.
Cardio or weights?
Weights.
Facebook or Twitter?
Not Twitter anymore after everybody's so mean. I'm about to delete my account, you fucking trolls. Not either of them. I mean, Twitter, yeah.
What about
outside of Love Island, Twitter, because it's funny, but not right now.
Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram, all the way.
Ice cream cone or snow cone?
Ice cream cone.
Mobile games or console games?
No games in life.
Music or podcasts?
I love podcasts, but obviously music.
iOS or Android?
iOS.
Pop or indie?
Pop.
Cake or pie?
Cake.
Yeah. If you pick a pie over a cake,
I know, that was weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't trust you.
Yeah, that's
you got good taste.
That's strange. Oh, the cake.
Right. Swimming or sunbathing?
Sunbathing, but I like to sunbathe with like a little bit in the water, a little out, so that you can like get tan. And also like I can't swim for more than like 5 seconds without like feeling like I'm gonna drown.
High tech or low tech?
Tech?
Yeah.
What, like phones and stuff?
I guess so. Are you a high tech or a low tech type of person?
I'm not like a really tech person. I can barely work on Apple TV, and like now after not being on my phone for so long, I like want nothing to do with any of it. So low tech.
Okay. And that's this or that. So I just want to thank you for coming on my channel, for answering these questions, giving us an opportunity to get to know you better, to understand the villa better, and just overall just bring an insight and an honesty in this conversation that would allow us to just be able to watch Love Island and continue to watch Love Island through a new pair of eyes. I will be placing your Instagram on the screen somewhere around here, maybe here. So follow her so you can keep up with her, show her love. And again, I just want to thank you for coming up here and taking the time out of your day.
It's so nice to talk to you. You're so lovely.
Oh, thank you. And before I go, I like to do my handshakes with people.
Okay.
I'll show you what I do. It goes like this. Talk to you later, and you're gonna point them up. Bye.
Bye.
Right. So you guys, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, or to tap the notification thingy so you can get alerts of my videos that are Love Island related, as well as Love Island not related, because I'm gonna get that content to you. And we've had a blast, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So peace out, y'all. Bye.
Bye.